Good afternoon. We're going to go over the watch list for the week for the low floats. The first one I have on the list is MTSL. You get the weekly on the left, then you get the daily on the right. I like it right here, for a good swing. If you want to grab it for a long swing, maybe it hasn't ran since September of last year. It's due to run soon because these things always run like a few times a year, and it's gone several months without having a big pop. So I would like to see this be a get news or something soon. So this could be a good swing. MTSL, which is an Israel telecom service company, so that could be a good swing. And the float is according to FINDA is 2.3. This pop right here on this week, what they have 11 million volume, and I went from 79 cents to 267, so that's not too bad. The volume is there, but if there's going to be news, the volume will be there. So BNTC is another one. I'm keeping an eye on it down here more into around. I have 634. I'd rather keep it right around $6. I like it under 6. So if it gets under 6, I would grab it. And it did have like a little support right here, but it broke it. But ideally under 6, this thing should pop. You look at the weekly, it gets right around, what is this, mid 6s. So yeah, I do like BNTC, but only under $6. So keep an eye on that. FRAN. FRAN is a clothing store, and with the economy opening up and stuff like that, it's just been sitting here chopping and chopping. The only problem with FRAN though is that, what is FRAN's new float? Let's see. It's 288. It's kind of crowded. It can move, but it needs a lot of volume. So if FRAN has news, this has potential. The other one I have is TMBR, which is formerly BPMX. They did a reverse split. They changed their names. I'm not one that really likes ticker name changes, because what happens is when you have these popular stocks or well-known low floats, they change their ticker name, it gets lost for like 6 months to a year. I can go on and on, SPU, which was a huge monster a couple years ago, and they changed it to FTFT, and it didn't go anywhere for like 6 months to a year. Now it's popular. Then Cone did the same thing. That was a very popular low float, and it changed its name. I don't remember what the name is. It's L something, and that got lost for a while. And then the newer one is CADC, which is the new one's HHT, the new ticker for it. So these, when they go through new ticker changes, they end up getting lost for, like I said, for 6 months or so. But none of them, I don't think, have had that I can recall, had a ticker name change and have a reverse split. So I think that if this has news, and because it's a recent reverse split, it could be different. But the thing is, I was watching it on Friday, and when it popped up, it seemed crowded. So I'm not quite sure. The new float on it is, let's see, I didn't have that written down. Let's see, I think it's like 1.2 or something like that. TNBR, let's see what FinBiz has. Yeah, 1.3. So for a 1.3 float, it seemed kind of crowded on Friday. It just didn't trade like it should, but I'd definitely keep an eye on it anyways. INTE is a China name. I do like this. Look at it's under $3 is a perfect buy opportunity. So if it gets under 3, I would grab it for a swing. Let's see what the float. Let's see if the float has changed. I don't think it has. Yeah, it's still 1.26. I mean, it's still really, really low. I mean, this thing is very thin and it doesn't take any volume. I mean, look at this. It went from 305 to 454 on 100,000 volume. I mean, that's next to nothing. So I would keep an eye on that. RHE is another one. It's been sitting in the 120 to 130, chopping in this range, but you look on the weekly, I mean, it gets under $1. I mean, I would grab it. I mean, for a swing. And this is I think a medical supply or medical care facility. So, I mean, it hasn't done anything for a little while. I mean, for like about a month. But if it gets underneath $1, I would grab it for a swing, because every time it gets under $1, I mean, it pops. So right here, 80 cents, right there, 80, and it pops. I mean, like a week. Oh no, this is the weekly, so it took a little while for that pop. But yeah, it could be a good swing on RHE, so I would keep an eye on that. Another one is PLXP. I like this one too. I mean, it gets over the 330. I mean, this is very, very thin. The float's a little larger, but it's very, very thin. I mean, you look at like this run right here from 121 to $6. I mean, 184,000 per volume on that particular week, and this week it had from 211 to 480. It had 377. I mean, the float is like 9 million, but it's so thin, and it's a drug manufacturer that if this gets attention or gets news, this thing's gonna fly. So I would definitely keep an eye on PLXP for a run. If shippers get hot this week or whatever, EDRY is a shipper, and the current float is still low. Yeah, 1 million. So I would keep an eye on this. I mean, if shippers get any steam, this thing can get going. I mean, it went from 745 to 14, so it went 100% on 2 million back. Well, that was 2 years. That was 2 years ago. But this is so thin; it doesn't require any volume to get this thing going. So EDRY is going to be definitely something to keep an eye on. Oops, I typed that into the wrong one. MCEP is another one to keep an eye on. I mean, it's a recent reverse split, as you can see right here. I mean, it gets under $2. The new float is 1.25. I think I have that written down. Where's it? Yeah, 1.2. So I would definitely keep an eye on this. I mean, it's oil and gas. I mean, there's a couple tickers out there that have reverse split recently that have not had their pump. And MCEP and FTSI is definitely the two, and they're both energy sectors. So if oil gets hot, they will probably take off. So let's see, FWP. I've been watching this one. I mean, I really like this stock too. I mean, it gets under. I mean, I have $5 down here, but I mean, it gets under 550. You could start for a swing, but you know, it's kind of got like a descending wedge right here. So just watch to see if it dumps a little bit. If it dumps or gets under 550, grab some for a swing. I mean, it's got a lot of potential. The float is 4.8 according to FinViz, and it's a Denmark biotech. So I just want to see what the float is on Yahoo. Seems like it's pretty low. Sometimes FinViz is, yeah, see, Yahoo says 500. Yeah, okay. Sometimes FinViz and Yahoo Finance, they give you conflicting floats. So FWP, I would keep an eye on this week. So biotechs heat up. You get some shipper, biotechs, China. Some reverse splits to keep an eye on. So that's what I would watch for the week, and set alerts to, if these things start to dump, that you grab the dip unless there's an offering, and just swing them until there's a news. And it's going to do it. Thank you.